it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we just got done with Riverdale, Season 6, Episode 19, called Witches of Riverdale. Guys, this is the episode, I guess this was last Sunday's episode, where Sabrina's officially here. As you guys all know, that, we really haven't been liking, I've been off and on liking episodes liking episodes this season and not liking a lot of episodes this season. I just wasn't interested until we got to the Sabrina episode. That was when I was like, okay, I'm really excited. I'm pretty excited to see what they do there. Annie, you kind of have been liking and not liking the season as well, right? Like, you like some episodes, you've hated some episodes, right? This season, or have you just overall liked them? Because I can't remember.
It's been more off.
It's been more off, you not liking them?
Yeah, than it has been, on.
Yeah, so I'm just...
It's different with how you're feeling about them to the way I'm feeling about them.
Yeah, so literally, as you guys know, this was last Sunday's episode, and again, we've been busy.
We were so tired and had no voices for the next day because we were at
the Big Time Rush concert. So we had that, and along with some other things, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about this episode, and I also, again, I've been so focused on other big things, especially since this upcoming Saturday at San Diego Comic-Con, so a lot of the Marvel news has been dropping, and as you guys know, that's really what the channel is a lot of Marvel stuff along with all these other shows and things. So I've just been more focused on that stuff and knowing that we eventually would get to Riverdale. But now that we officially got to the episode 19 called Witches of Riverdale today, this was a pretty damn good episode. I actually really enjoyed this episode. There was one thing I hated about this episode, but I'm not going to lie. This episode has been 10 times better than a lot of the previous episodes that we've been getting. And I'm super excited to see what we're going to be doing in the next episodes to come, knowing on what happened in this episode. But, to start off this episode, we were at the gravesite at Thornhill, and of course, Jughead is giving, his narration of telling us who's dead right now. And, I guess it's a couple of hours after. I don't think it's a couple of days after they died in the last episode, but it's a couple of hours after where they buried everybody, I'm assuming. And, right now, Cheryl is upset that the fact that, she had to bury Nana Blossom and she had to bury TT. And, right now, we only have Tabitha, Veronica, and Betty with her. But then we have Parzival show up, which was really disrespectful. That Parzival had the nerve to, show up and, and just be a jerk. And was Uncle Frank there?
It was Parzival and Uncle Frank.
Yeah, which was really just absolutely messed up. And I love the one part where Veronica's really, you had to do that. You really had to do this to baby Anthony. He's just a baby. Which I was okay. So I was oh my God. It was does Parzival know that baby Anthony is still alive by her saying that? Or is she saying that how could you do this to baby Anthony? He's how could you do this to baby Anthony? He's just a baby. Meaning how could you kill baby Anthony? He's just a baby. And they kind of all know that Parzival's after baby Anthony, but they don't want him knowing he's alive. And I really hated because, we end up going back from that. We end up all going to, where is it? We end up going to Thornhill. Mm-hmm. And then we have the conversation where I guess only certain firstborns died from the plague, which I thought was really stupid. That was the one thing I really hated about this episode. Out of the entire, yeah, it was. I guess it was a plague that killed all the firstborns. That's what Tabitha was saying, or someone said it. It was a plague, and Alice is making a cover up, saying that it was the serpents and the ghoulies that were fighting each other back and forth down in the what's it called? Tony's place. What's it called again?
White Worm.
The White Worm. I guess saying that there was an all out brawl in the White Worm. That's why a lot these certain people died as a cover up, because I think she's still working for Parzival. That's why she made that cover up. I'm not quite sure. I can never know. Alice. I never know what side she's on. So that's why it's kind of confusing. But I understand that she probably wanted to cover it up because she probably still is under Parzival's spell, kind of same as how Uncle Frank is. But and Sheriff Killer. So I just love at the moment we're I guess, they're trying to figure out a way to do a spell, what's it called? A ritual spell to bring everybody back from the dead. And they need Sabrina. And then that's when we get Sabrina, her big entrance with her broom, and Cheryl, lets her come in the house saying, we've been waiting for you. She had a broom.
I didn't know that Sabrina had a broom.
She does, and I love the moment where, Cheryl's we've been waiting for you. And she's oh, well, I had to come, from... wherever to, get here. So that was very funny.
They acted like they didn't meet her. They never met her.
Well, they have never met her, but they've been waiting for her. That because Heather called, I guess, but she was taking a little bit long to get there. But they met her in Riverdale. That was that Cheryl that met that Sabrina. This Cheryl has never met Sabrina. This is the first time they've met. But I do love the fact of, we get to the point of like, okay, she has to be the one because she's able to walk, I forget what it was called, like a death walker. She's able to go into heaven to get everybody back because no one else can do that because they never died and they can't cross over or they've never died and then come back, so they aren't able to go to the afterlife. So she ends up going, which I'll let you explain going forward and who what goes on when Sabrina goes over. Like, what would you think about all that?
Well, Sabrina goes over to bring back Jughead first.
Mm-hmm.
She goes over, she's like, you need to come back, they need you.
But in her class, I loved, Jughead's scenery right now is literally the Archie comics. He's wearing his classic Jughead outfit. He's eating, burgers and having comics, kind of like what we saw, I think, in Riverdale. Yeah, right?
There was an episode where they have a comic.
When they have the classic look of, the Archie comics. But I loved the way, when Sabrina walked in there and she was in her classic look. I loved that. I thought she looked amazing, too.
I actually own the Archie comics.
You do? I know you did.
Sam gave it to me.
Oh, okay, that's sick. But I just loved how she was in her classic outfit. I loved that. I was like, oh my god, this is really amazing. But of course, Jughead's like, who are you? And she's like, oh, she tried to catch him up to speed, saying, you aren't supposed to be here.
You're supposed to be down in the morning.
Yeah, you died. And he's kind of like, well, he's like, oh, I kind of figured I might have. Or he's kind of like, oh, Tabitha sent me, and Tabitha said that, she wants you to come back. And he's kind of like, oh, I want to be here. I know I'll see her eventually. And also she told me I was going to die, and we were going to lose anyways, and I was going to die in the battle. I'd rather be here where it's like, I don't have to deal, Riverdale isn't whatever. What do you say? Riverdale's not... in suffering. And also, this is how...
happy all the time.
Exactly, and this is, the pinnacle of what I think Riverdale is burgers and fries and comics, and I don't really want to, die, and I don't want to have to deal with all the suffering. So I was like, when he said that, oh, I'm not coming back, and, she can't force them to come back. She even said that to Tabitha, Veronica, and Betty, and also, Cheryl and Heather, that I can't force them to come back, but, it has to be up to them to want to come back. And already right away, that's causing problems in the fact that they were all worried that, oh my god, what if they don't want to come back?
So when she crossed over to try to bring Jughead back, he didn't want to come back at all.
Yep.
And then we see Sabrina and Jughead come out of
the portal.
And Tabitha's like, oh, Jughead, I missed you, and hugs him and all. But it wasn't Jughead, it was Sabrina's boyfriend, Nick. Because
I knew right away what you said, then can I ask you a favor, or can you do me a favor then? I knew right away. Because she mentioned, Nick, I think Nick previously, before she jumped in there. She did.
She's like, well, my boyfriend Nick, Scratch is whatever, and then...
brought me back from the dead. And I knew right away when she said, can I ask you a favor? I'm like, and then when say, oh, Jughead, you're back. I knew right away, that's not Jughead, that's Nick. And I told Andy...
Well, at first you didn't know it was Nick. You thought it was Jughead.
No, I knew right away when it said, Jughead, you're back, and he was acting different. I was like, that's Nick. I'm like, that's not... And already right away, I was pissed. I told Annie, if this is what they're trying to tell us is that Jughead's not coming back, and it's supposed to be Nick in Jughead's body... Going forward, this show has lost their mind. If people are going to be okay with that, I was not down with that at all. But I was so glad when it didn't last very long.
I didn't watch the Sabrina on Netflix because I think it's just
too dark,
too scary for me, and I don't do scary.
But I loved that. It's canon now.
But I just didn't like how Nick was able to take over Jughead's body.
But it made sense, though.
When they were trying to bring Jughead back, but then he didn't want to.
Yeah.
So then she came to a different alternative.
Yeah.
To make it bring back Nick her boyfriend.
Yeah, just for the little time that they had, yeah.
And then instead of bringing back Tabitha's boyfriend.
But in a way it made sense on the fact of like, okay, you know, can you do me a favor then until, you know, Tabitha comes to go get you, which, you know, Sabrina never told Jughead, oh, Tabitha will be coming back for you after your decision, because Tabitha wasn't going to take no for an answer, saying like, okay, you know, there has to be a way that we could just, they're like, I want to still try to go do it. And like, it was really interesting in the fact though, that it is canon. When she mentioned Nick and bringing her back, I was like, this is canon. So this is our Sabrina that we watched on Netflix. I was like, I'm liking this a lot. And I love how, you know, how like Nick's only there for a little bit of time. He's like, oh, if you're not going to, you know, use your body, can you, Nick, use your body for the little of time that, you know, like for, you know, so I can have a little bit more time with my boyfriend. And Jughead said, you know, have at it, you know, I'm not going to use my body. And I just love that, you know, they have, you know, Nick knows magic. You know what I mean? So you know, he's a Morlock. So I was like, okay, I like that. You know, he's able to help them trying to get everybody back.
It was kind of cool to see Cole Sprouse do that.
I was like, yeah, like cool. Like it gives Cole, you know, different stuff to do. It really shows that he can act like different. You know what I mean? It just he gets to use his acting skills a little bit more, which I thought was really cool that he was able to do that. I just love how, like, you know, that we get to the moment where, like, you know, it didn't work. Like, at this point, Sabrina's like, it's not going to work. It didn't work, me going to see Jughead, and no one's going to know who I am if I keep doing it. So we need to do it to the point where you guys all go. And he's like, who wants to go where? And then, of course, Tony says, I'm going to go deal with, you know, go the Fangs, and I'm going to go to TT, and I'm going to, of course, go the Fangs, of course. And, you know what I mean? And then that's when, you know, Betty's like, I'm going to go to Archie. And then that's when, you know, also, Tabitha said, I'm going to go into Jughead. But, of course, that's when Nick senses, I guess, and looks at, you know, Betty saying, okay, Betty can't go because Betty is, I forget what Betty is, but I guess Betty can't go to heaven. And then that's when, you know, Sabrina's like, is there anybody else here that has a tie to Archie? And I knew right away it was going to be Veronica.
So, Veronica goes to Archie and she goes through.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl goes to Fangs and Tony.
Yeah.
And then Tabitha goes to Jughead.
Yeah.
But Tabitha, she was going to talk to Jughead.
But she saw how happy he was.
She saw how happy he was there. And then her guardian angel, I guess Raphael is her guardian angel, whatever.
Yeah.
She talks to him instead.
And it kind of, like, catches Tabitha up to speed on, like...
Yeah.
On, like, what's going on. And then that's when she finds out that, you know, she's the guardian angel of Riverdale. Ends up finding out that baby Anthony is immortal.
Yeah.
Ends up finding out some interesting things.
The thing I like about Cheryl going to see Fangs and Tony... Yeah,
that scene brought me to tears a little bit.
She's like, Percival killed you. He, you know...
You're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be, you know, in the present day.
Yeah, you're supposed to be in the, you know, you're supposed to be in our like, on the ground. You're not supposed to be in heaven. Your time's not up yet.
Yeah, and, like, baby Anthony's all grown up.
Yeah.
And Zach said it's kind of weird because it looks like
they casted somebody very well
and Fangs and Tony, which so they kind of brought like some who like drew a little bit, some who like messed a little bit, mixed together.
Yeah, they got someone really well to play their kid. I believed it. I was like, wow, they actually chose someone that looks just like them. Like that was a great casting. The thing that really got to me though was when Fangs, of course, was like, well, you know, Cheryl was getting Tony to understand, okay, like, oh, like, you know, because, you know, Cheryl's like, you know, you're a mother, you have to know that this isn't real, and that, you know, you're that baby Anthony is alive and not here, and this just isn't real, and baby Anthony still needs you to be, you know, still needs his parents. And I love the moment where, you know, of course, you know, Fangs is like, no, Cheryl, you did this, you did this to Polly and Jason during their wedding, and then right away that was a kick to like, oh my God, Polly and Jason had their wedding, they got married. And then that's when we cut to, you know, Thornhill, and we see Polly, Jason, and we see also Nana Blossom and Dagwood.
Yeah, because Dagwood died, Jennifer's still alive. Jennifer, wait, who were the twins living with?
They were with Cheryl, and that's where they were. They weren't with Alice, no. So that's why, so that was Annie caught that in the beginning of the episode when, you know, Jughead was giving his monologue, and his voiceover saying that Dagwood died too. And I was like, oh, I guess he was the firstborn. But
I thought Jennifer was the firstborn, but I guess Dagwood was.
See, Annie picks up more of that stuff than I do. I don't really like pay attention on all that stuff, but I really enjoyed, though, of the fact of when she did go in there and saw how happy they were.
Oh,
that was really nice. But I felt sad for,
when Cheryl went to go see Jason and Polly and Dagwood, she said that they were pregnant with triplets this time.
Yeah, which again, it made me feel sad because that's the moment where Cheryl's like, I'm so glad to see you because they shouldn't have died. You know what I mean? They died too soon, and that was just really sad. The fact when Polly's like, you don't have to cry. You can. You know what I mean? You could stay here, and she's like, only if that was true. Meaning, I can't stay here. Like, we have a battle going on in Riverdale, and this isn't real. It's not my time to go yet. I have to leave. And I was just really sad. Again, that was probably the only scene that really brought me the tears out of the entire episode. I was a little tearing up. Madeline really gave a great performance there.
I'm kind of excited for next week's episode because we get to see...
Next week's episode?
Yeah.
Tonight's episode.
Tonight's episode because we get to see Jason actually be alive because if you remember season 1, Clifford killed him.
And how is that possible? If we're going to the end of this episode,
because she brings everybody back. She brings everybody back.
Yeah, but the way she does it was
you can't cheat death because death will come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, it will. And that Sabrina warned her.
Death is a bitch.
Yeah, so Sabrina warned her saying if you mess with death, death has a way of messing back.
It's gonna come back and F you.
Yes, exactly. And what did she do?
She messed with
She brought back Polly. She brought back Polly and she brought back Jason. And that was Dagwood was supposed to come back because he was but that she messed with Death big time. Even Heather said that when she was explaining, saying like, I feel like they should have their happy ending and we should give them a second chance. And she's like, Heather was like, but their bodies have been it's probably it's too late for them. They've moved on and they've been dead for so long. But she's like, it wouldn't hurt to try, and she did it.
We don't know how long in Riverdale years it's been since Jason died.
Yeah.
But in the real world, it's been 6 years.
But honestly, though, that Heather's face was like, oh no. I knew, and I gasped. I said, no, Cheryl. I said,
doesn't Heather know Jason? Because
no. Heather wouldn't know Jason.
Yeah, she would because when
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess, but still, the fact that she knew she shouldn't have done that. Sabrina warned her, and that's gonna. Because
Heather was smart. Heather is smart, and Cheryl is.
That's gonna screw everything up. And my theory is I told Annie, I was like, I bet you Cheryl's gonna sacrifice herself, and she's gonna take their place down, and maybe in heaven, I don't know, or maybe whatever. And they're going to be able to stay because I feel like it's going to be reminiscent of kind of like how Nick did a trade out to make Sabrina come back to life. I feel like that could definitely happen with Cheryl. I don't know. Trade out? Yeah, he did that for Sabrina. Remember, he switched out with Sabrina. Sabrina died, but then he said no, I want to trade and have Sabrina be alive.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's a chance Cheryl could do that because I don't see, or they could just Death could come back for them and take them. Who knows that? Because remember, that's what Nick said to Sabrina when Sabrina's like, "Oh, we could leave Riverdale, we could leave Greendale, and we can go, we can get a little place." But he said, "Death will come for us," and that's what's gonna happen for Polly and Jason.
Nick was right too.
Exactly, and he knew that that wouldn't work. Death would come for them, and Death's gonna come for.
Props to Chris Cross playing Nick, because he
did a good job.
Was it like dead on?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a really good. Yeah, he acted like Nick. I believed it from what I saw from Netflix. I'm like, he did a really good job. But going on to how Cheryl did it, because we ended up finding out from Sabrina how she brought everybody back is because she's a Phoenix, which you called out saying that it's kind of reminiscent to Landon and Legacies.
Okay, so Zach was like, "Oh, I don't understand this," but we've heard the word Phoenix on the CW before. Yeah,
in Legacies, which I didn't think they were going with the same Phoenix thing, but I guess in lore it's the same thing.
Oh no, that's not the same word, whatever.
It's Phoenix is Phoenix, I guess, in lore.
Now I feel like Legacies is tied in with Riverdale because
it's not like that.
Because Heather and Sabrina both told Cheryl that it's a bird who bursts into flames.
No.
Yeah,
no. It's not tied in. It's just in the same lore of what they did in Legacies, where I guess in ancient whatever the Phoenix means the same thing. So it's not like it's connected, but it's the same power essentially.
It's a bird who bursts.
Yeah, that can. Yeah, a phoenix in general is a bird that can come back to life.
Yeah, and she did the spell and everything,
and they came back. And against their will, which I thought for sure Jughead was pissed when Tabitha was explaining, saying, "Oh, you wouldn't come back, and we need you
shocked.
here." And
he has his hearing back.
Yeah.
She sang things like, "Oh, Cheryl," like when Cheryl's bringing him back,
it was like a reboot.
She reset him,
but he still has his powers.
She did say rebirth.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, because he got. But he can still, like a phoenix.
But he can still hear her thoughts.
Which I thought was cool. He got to keep his powers, but he could hear again. So I thought that was really cool.
So does that mean Archie's not...
Archie still has his abilities, but Archie was never whatever, so he's fine. But the only one that really had damage was... John. But I said to Annie, my theory is that maybe Veronica is able to, maybe since she kind of like got, reborn in a way by her coming back to life, it's like, I'm thinking, is there a chance maybe that she is able to be with people now? Maybe because, she did die and come back. Is she able to, like, kiss people now without killing people with her venom? I don't know. But then again, she never, like, came back like a phoenix, but she did come back to life. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that or not. But it's very interesting to me because also the one moment that when everybody is with everybody now and Tabitha goes to see, Veronica seeing if she was okay, Tabitha literally said to Veronica that there is there's just as much as a chance for Betty having a happy ending with Archie is the same as you. I guess it's like it's like
because in some of the
universes are
when she went back in time, there was Betty and Archie were hanging. There's other ones where Veronica and Archie were.
I guess they have the same amount of chances to be with Archie. They're even.
Varchie is forever.
Even though if that's the writers trying to say that, they're going to end the season by having us have Varchie, I'm not doing it. I can't stand these writers keep messing with us. That's the one thing I really don't like. But it is a very interesting storyline. The fact of, she did say out of all the timelines, it's like it's been evenly stacked on who gets to be with Archie. So, like, I guess, you're in this timeline, you never know what could happen here. So it kind of gives Veronica some hope where I think maybe Veronica might try to, get back with Archie. I just don't know. I don't know what that will do. I don't know if, I don't know. And I really don't want that because we finally have Archie. And I feel like that if the writers screw us over like that, it's really messed up. But what did you think about, we have Reggie back in this episode, which,
oh my God,
Annie's face lit up. We haven't seen Reggie in how many, when was the last time we saw Reggie? I don't even remember, honestly. I don't know if it was the last episode or not, or maybe it was the one before that. It's been a minute since I think I've seen Reggie. I can't remember the last episode.
Okay, I love Charles Milton so much.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I told Annie, like, I liked him in this episode.
Actually, and speaking of Charles Milton, my last post on Instagram before I got my phone taken away was about Charles.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that,
what did you think about his stuff that he was doing in this? Well, why was he gone?
Because of Percival.
And what did Percival want him to do? He wanted to give him those stupid ancient knives, which I don't know what for.
Reggie stole one. I'm just gonna say that first. But Percival wanted Reggie to kill Kevin.
Yeah.
Or save his dad.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna do either. He wanted to save his dad and Kevin. He didn't want to kill Kevin. He didn't want
but how the thing that I really like. I was really annoyed because when Reggie
his Muppet thingy came back.
Yeah, his Muppet came back, which his Muppet said, "Pull your head out of your ass. You don't want to kill Kevin. You want to be the hero. You Percival thinks he knows you by you wanting you wanting popularity and you wanting money and you to be the man, but that's not what you want. You want to be the hero." And I was like, wow, the Muppet baby has more knowledge and stuff and thinking than Reggie does. But the Muppet even said, "I'm your conscience. I'm the one that's telling you don't want to do this to Kevin. You want to be the hero. So why don't you do both? Why don't you get the hell out of Dodge with Kevin and your father and leave Parzival in the dust?" And that's essentially what he tries to do, but he ends up getting caught.
Yeah. And
Parzival ends up now having Kevin, Reggie and his father in that vault in the vault in Babylonia.
Didn't they lock him in in the vault.
They locked them all in the vault, but he
no, then they locked.
They locked Kevin in the vault because Kevin was trying to get away in the beginning of this episode.
But then they locked Percival in the vault too.
Yeah, at one point, but he got out. Remember, even though that was stupid. That was so stupid how he got out. But I really liked how, like, you know, Kevin was trying to get away in the beginning of this episode. Not with Baby Anthony, but he was trying to leave, or was he trying to get Baby Anthony with him? I don't even remember.
He's trying to leave.
I think he was just trying to leave with Baby Anthony and Moose, trying to go to New York, to get away from Parzival. But of course, you know, he got captured by.
But the thing is, we didn't see Moose at all this episode.
No, we didn't. But he got captured by Sheriff Keller and Uncle Frank, right?
Yeah.
And he got taken back, and he got tortured in the vault. And I guess the longer he was in the vault, you know, without oxygen, it would have made him. Parzival thought it was going to make him weaker, so he could get into Kevin's mind and figure out what his friends are doing up in Thornhill. But he was so focused on the happy memories with his friends that he just was staying strong. I said Kevin was a G in this episode. He came in clutch. I really liked Kevin in this episode.
Yeah.
Again, I've been really liking Kevin.
Props to Casey.
I've been really liking Kevin ever since he's gotten away from being mind controlled by Parzival. But I do like, you know, how he was able to withstand Parzival's, you know, torture, so that way Parzival could get in his head and figure out what they were trying to do. But I'm just excited to see the fact that, you know, Reggie has one of Parzival's knives. And he said, no, you know, this is one of Parzival's ancient knives, and when he comes in here, I can get him in the neck. He went, I can get him like, I thought that was very funny. But I'm excited to see what's going to go towards in the next episode, because now we have, you know, Betty finding out that Polly's alive. That's going to be very interesting. I don't think that's going to last long because, again, death has a way of hunting them down. It will hunt Cheryl down, Death, and, you know, and we'll take back Polly and Jason because they aren't supposed to be there. So I don't know. I mean, also, like, remember, it's not even just with Jason, and it's not just with also Polly, but it's also Jughead, Archie, Dagwood, Fangs and Tony. She brought all of them back. You know, and Sabrina said, you be careful because, death has a way of, messing with what death doesn't like to be messed with, and will try to get you. You cheat death. Yeah, death doesn't like to. Yeah, death doesn't like to be cheated, and meaning that you be careful. And she went past what she was supposed to do. She really messed with death on bringing people back that have been dead for so long. So I am interested to see where they're going to be what they're going to be doing in tonight's episode. Which again, I think we're going to be done after we're done with this review. We're going to be going and hopping in to go watch it. Or we're going to do it tomorrow. Are we doing it tomorrow?
We're doing it tomorrow.
All right, that's fine. But yeah, we're going to be doing it tomorrow. And we're going to get it up for you guys tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, I actually really enjoyed this episode. This was the first episode I really actually liked. Reggie, and I haven't liked Reggie's character in a very long time. So I actually was shocked when, he's actually, the Muppet had more sense to say, pull your head out of your ass. Thank God someone said it, because he did need to pull his head out of his ass.
My favorite episode of Riverdale is when they brought back the original Reggie.
That was a funny ass episode. That was a really good episode. I forget how the hell that happened too, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, again, I think Parzival still as a villain is a shitty villain. Especially the logic of him only killing the certain firstborns, I thought was very stupid, how he was able to control that. But other than that, I am excited to see where the next episodes go. Again, guys, I'm sorry that, we've like been busy and we haven't been posting, and I just, again, it's so hard to get motivated for a show that I haven't really been liking. But not gonna lie, I really did enjoy this episode, so I am interested in watching the next episodes. And again, we will finish this series, guys. I do want to do that for you guys. Even though we're not coming back next season, I do want to finish the season. So that way, I could just follow through with that and we can get it up for you guys. Because, we made it this far. I do want to finish it, which we will. But yeah, guys, honestly, I want to know down in the comments below, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you guys like this episode? Was it a very entertaining episode? Also, do you guys think we'll see Sabrina in the next, do you think we'll see Sabrina for the next couple of episodes before they end the season off, season 6? Or do you guys think we won't see her again and we'll see her maybe again next season in season 7? I'm really curious to know down in the comments below what you guys think about that. Also, what do you guys think about the plot in this episode? Did you guys like it? And yeah, honestly, guys, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, post notifications, like this video. Love to have you guys here, a part of the fam, a part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And yet again, guys, we're almost to 600 subscribers. Right now, I'm at 544, almost to 600. We're making moves, we're making strides. And yet again, guys, if you guys are, a big fans of Marvel, San Diego Comic-Con, like I mentioned earlier, is this Saturday, and I'm going to be doing a live stream. I mentioned it in my recent videos, talking about some of the leaks that have been leaking out about future MCU projects. I was talking about saying that, I'm going to be live streaming. So yet again, if you guys are interested in, coming into my live stream, for this Saturday, for me covering San Diego Comic-Con, I would love to see you guys stop in, and talk to you guys. But yeah, guys, honestly, I'm really curious to know, again, what you guys thought about this episode. And also, I want to know, have you guys been liking this season? And if you guys are, that's great. But if you guys aren't, why haven't you guys been liking the season? I'm really curious to know down in the comments below what you guys think about that. Also, I really thought it was stupid when they were doing the ritual stuff, and to get Tabitha and Betty and Veronica to be witches, they had a dance number, which again, I wasn't complaining because there's these beautiful women dancing. I'm not complaining, but it's a fact of it is that you're on a deadline of Percival not knowing what you're up to bring back your friends so they could be here for this war, but also the fact of, it's just, that's not the right time to be dancing. So I thought that was very funny. But yeah, guys, that was the video. We hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 20 of Riverdale. Peace.